Hello, hello, people of the internet. It's your boy, Skinny Penis. And we continue with the premium ships. Obviously, next one is Kid. Like the 3 DDs you should or could actually buy. Obviously, the Orkan offers nice little radar gimmick and heal, but to be honest, not having a smoke on a tier 8 DD if you get up tiered, or also the lack of DPM and maneuverability, kind of like Smaland gets a speed boost, for example. Orkan as a little Smaland only gets an 8% speed boost, not like that agile. You can do a lot with Orkan, but for sure it's like the one that is not really necessary. But on the other hand, Kid, for example, is like probably the most interesting destroyer for people that just want a DD that performs overall decent and is also easy to play. That's probably the thing that it boils down to, because compared to Cossack, it trades maneuverability and concealment and the fast smoke for more survivability. Like the big thing, you can fuck up more in Kid and get out of it, or you can take trades for longer and still survive and heal back up. I mean, it's the only DD on tier 8, I think, that has a heal. Yeah, it should be, yeah, that sounds about right. In Cossack, in Cossack, it's easier to take the engagement yourself, like actively try to hunt for destroyers, actively try to go for spotting or aggressive positions, because you just have so much like maneuverability and also the get out of jail free cards with the fast smokes that you can be way more active yourself. Then again, if you fuck it in a Cossack, you're not gonna get your HP back. In Kid, on the other hand, you can definitely live for way longer if you play it properly, and also you're a bit more survivable against carriers. Though, I mean, obviously the def A on a DD tier 8 is like, it helps you against the it helps you against the CV, especially trash CV players. But other than that, it's not like some sort of magical deterrent for carriers not to ever go for you. That's pretty sad. Matchmaking wise, we're actually a bit fucked. It's lots of cruisers, specifically also 2 Raider cruisers. DDs are nice, at least there is no like Smaland or Sherman that I have to fuck with. Obviously my DPM is like base Fletcher DPM, but I can't slot the reload mod. So, I mean, I don't know, I have like a Superintendent spec for the heal. Doesn't really make sense with the smokes and the DFA, like you don't need Superintendent there. Okay, like I think I'm going to have a DD here on my left. I hope he didn't pre-torp the shitty cap zone, because what I'm currently doing is the banana gameplay, where I try to run at this cap or zone to get... But I mean, it could be that the enemy DD that's here is a torpedo DD and just went 9-10 line for no reason. I think that's actually the case. I can collect buffs here for free and actually shoot the... Okay. We got a reload buff. Oh, it's not like that strong. Heal buffs are obviously what you want in destroyers, but... Or like, honestly, with Kids, since you have a heal yourself, the HP buff is also pretty strong. Obviously, your heal is based on max HP if you increase that. The 2 cruisers on the 9-10 line are so far away that I can just take this. I'm gonna go behind a rock. Actually, I think his shells hit me here. That was a wee bit of a fuck up. Nah, it's okay, it's fine. We go for this. Next buff. Our Schlieffen on the other side is monging it in. He goes behind a rock. I will get that buff. You're not very fast in all those tier 8 DDs apart from the Frenchies. But that doesn't really change even if you get a higher tier destroyer. Oh, hey. That appears to be the Kamikaze. Going to help my Jutland shoot down the planes real fast with the Defe. Actually, there is the Shimakaze. I'm just gonna torp. Maybe he turns out, tries to come back in. That means the Öster Girdland is currently fucking around on the... well, okay. I mean, I have nothing to do. I can just sit here and spot the guy for a while. I don't think, though, any BB or whatever has an angle really on that. Of the Fae up. I mean, against the Russian carrier, you're not gonna do jack shit with your def A, by the way. But that doesn't matter what kind of ship you play. AA versus Russian carrier is just like a tragedy. Nothing happens. Puerto Rico, I mean, the San Martin is a turbo hard counter to me. In the sense that he can just pressure me away with his radar or hydro. But I can never kill him. I mean, theoretically, I also don't die to him, but... I think I can outrun that. Maybe I can't outrun that. I can. Should be fine. Hopefully my Jutland doesn't take a torp either. That would be kind of cool. My torpedo prediction wasn't too bad, but didn't really do anything because... Well... I want to get my damage buff over there. Yeah, well, I'm in tier 10 arms race. Lots of cruisers, 2 battleships. DK is dead on the other side, so there's maybe the Iowa left to farm a bit of damage. Or the... I mean, I can just farm the Puerto, honestly. But... collecting buffs here is obviously the smart choice. I wouldn't do much... Oh, okay, we have a 2v1 here. The Jutland is obviously with me. Could be with me. I'm gonna pop a heal already. Yeah, he's fucked. As you can see here, you can just take these trades. I mean, surely he's not the best aimer or best player in general. But you can take these trades pretty easily and just heal up afterwards. So you have, even in one fight, you have a lot more survivability because, as you can see here, he had to burn through... I mean, okay, it's arms race buff, so it's even more HP. But normally it's like 19,000 plus a heal. So, and Torpedo Spect Haaland or Erland has a pretty hard time punching through that and actually killing you without dying himself. Nice. Got another damage buff. Sit here and farm the Iowa, I guess. I don't have Fearless Brawl, which it could actually be really good. But, because you can stay just out of your smoke open water. As I said, they have so much survivability. You could theoretically track open water fights while being spotted to get more DPM in. But I'm running the, what is it, BFT, so, because most of the times if you farm a heavy ship, you just do it from a smoke. You don't really do it open water. Kid is something like more of a overtime farmer. The Cossack has way better fire chance, so it can poke people easy. And through the poking get like perma-fires at the right time. Kid is more, I smoke up in, or like if you farm, you smoke up in very safe positions where no one can distract you or fuck you out. Currently, like, look at this, I can dive behind the island if this man decides to radar me for some reason. Obviously, I hope my team doesn't give him the perma farm where he can get his F key procced. Probably just chilling. Maybe this guy goes into maybe this guy comes into torpedo range. I will dive on the island and use the island as a shield against him. Because there's no point in like kiting out anymore. The game is already won. Third race, obviously, game's essentially already over. Yeah. So running away doesn't really make sense here. Sure as shit doesn't. And I can load actual AP here. I think he doesn't have the... Okay, actually he procced his F key, so he will have his radar back in a second. Gotta be a bit more careful now. Because I'm in a pretty shit position. Double reload, triple damage. Sadly, we won't be able to actually use that shit. Because these people will most likely die before we get to actually farm someone. Reload is quite okay-ish for a kid. I mean, you're not like magically becoming a Marland in DPM for effectiveness of farming, but hey, something. Get a bit more damage. I mean, by the way, what I didn't say in Cossack and Terrible video, but like it's fairly obvious. Those 3 destroyers are also like the turbo XP pinata. Like You can get so much XP out of this shit, it's quite disgusting. I would have loved to get a fire here. Before, there you go, permafire. I mean, I'm just tanking it. You can see I'm just like, and the game is over. I didn't even, like, my idea was I die here, but the fires tick him out, so I get a bit more damage, but like, whatever. Sadly, didn't really work out that way. But hey, in the end, I mean, if you're in a tier 8 destroyer and you play tier 10 matchmaking, it's pretty good to play objective, because tier 8 DDs already have access to double concealment, so their concealment isn't that big of a downside, so you can be more of a spotter and capper and opportunistic damage dealer, because you obviously don't have the power of a tier 10 gunboat. The thing is, if there are Smalans or some shit or Shermans in there and they go for the buffs, I can't do that, so yeah, you have to dodge it anyways. You can just try and poke it and try to outspot it, make him shoot, bait his utility and shit, go behind an island and then engage him with your team afterwards. So this is the spec, very usual. It's the same as in the Cossack. I mean, you can drop Superintendent. Also, by the way, all of those destroyers work really well. I mean, the Terrible needs more points than the others. Terrible needs like 17 points or 18 points to really work. I mean, 17, you just don't take Fearless Brawl. The Cossack and the Kid just need, what is it? That's 10, 16 points, kind of. Not even. Actually, you only need 13. You need this, row, an AR, and then you already have a fully functional destroyer. You don't really need Superintendent. You have too many consumables anyway. I mean, on Kid it's nice because of the heal. On Cossack there's pretty much no need for it, especially if you also have Cunningham. But essentially the last points always go into damage for me. First you take the utility, like this is the first shit you spec. And then AR, or maybe AR before Survivability Expert. That's up to personal preference. But other than this, then on the modules, I mean, there's not really much you can do, because obviously I want to run FA on this. It's like the point with the long smoke, decent survivability. You want to be also protected against tier 8 and 6 carriers, kind of. Tier 10 carriers still really just ignore you unless they eat some magical amount of flak, which doesn't really happen. Other than this, normal modules, always the same. But yeah, I mean, I said it in the Terrible video, the price tag on those 3 destroyers is super, I mean, I don't know, fair. Everyone has to be the judge if it's fair for himself. I think compared to the prices or the inflated prices of some shitty tier 9 premiums, like, for example, shit like Iwami or some crap that no one needs, or yeah, I don't know, Iwami, what is there, Carno, but like, just like shit that it's not really worth it. And also even the tier 10 premium prices, like if you buy a tier 10 premium, it's like obviously way more expensive. Those destroyers on tier 8 are just like really the best buck, or the best, what is it, like, punch for your money? No, wait, what do you say? The best boom for your buck, I think that's what it is. They give you a great opportunity to understand DD gameplay. They are obviously, as I said, very rewarding if you get it down right. Like, even if you get a Tirpitz down right, or you know how to play Tirpitz, everyone still shits on you in tier 10 matchmaking. Meanwhile, a Kid or a Cossack can still play objective, can still get a lot of XP, bring value to their team, and you get rewarded obviously through the credits and XP boosters, or like built-in boosters from a premium ship, and that's like the point. And you also don't really have to fear blowing up like in a tier 8 premium cruiser. I mean, the best tier 8 premium cruiser overall is obviously Atago, because it gets healed random fucking deck armor that's better than tier 10 deck armor on cruisers most of the times, and it gets a heal as a concealment. It's like, it's a good package. You can actually play it even in up-tiered games. Something like a Bayardo or Mines becomes infinitely harder the more higher tier ships are in your game, because obviously you suddenly don't have the DPM to fuck with tier 9 and 8 BBs really, at tier 9 and 10 BBs, especially if they're spec'd correctly. Like, you're not going to do shit against the Monty with fire prevention in Bayard specifically, because you don't pen his deck or sides, even with IFAG, by the way. and he just overmatches you everywhere. So like, is it really rewarding? Is what I said in the other videos. Like if you have a ship, like if you want to buy a premium ship, I personally would go for something that isn't dependent on matchmaking, but just mostly reliant on player skill, and you can actually like get a reward for playing it properly. If you play a Mines or a Bayard properly in tier 10 matchmaking, the fucking enemy BB that you farmed for 5 minutes and couldn't kill might still blow you up in one go if he has good RNG. Doesn't happen on Destroyer, so and they're cheaper. So yeah, that's definitely what I would go for. Talon is here, it's crazy. Wasted his radar kind of. Kinda wasted it pretty easily here. I mean wait, he's shooting? I mean, he is a heal too, so I guess that's why he's one to shoot. He's a hull, or he doesn't have survivability expert. Good question what of the two it is. That guy can lob through the island. Hopefully he doesn't set a fire. Doesn't even hit me. I mean, you have the orbital shells that can lob islands, by the way, same as with Cossack. I think the arcs are a bit better than Cossack. Wouldn't really know. But as you can see, I took a fight, just popped my heal, still get a lot of HP back, and now I'm trying to cut the Öland off, then smoke against the Bismarck. Probably the play. I don't know if it's going to work though. We're going to pre-torp Bismarck. He will probably turn out again against me. Actually going to smoke out here. Can't engage the Bismarck without losing 10 million HP to AI gunners. I just also wanted to make him turn out again, which he by the way does, because he sees me. Maybe he eats a torp, but they're really slow, but I think I sent them too far forward. He turned in way too deep for my torps to actually catch up. As long as he's spotted and I know where he is, I can run at around. When he reaches like 6.5 km, I should be fine to run it away. Because obviously he's trying to get into my smoke with Hydra if I'm unlucky. Like now the decision comes if he's like if he stays like this, I have to run obviously. If he turns out right about now, I can stay here. Yeah, he's turning back in. He wants to just fucking run it and die. I can turn behind my smoke actually, I think. I mean, let's check if the Öland spots me here behind the smoke. He does. Doesn't anymore. Okay, perfect. His Hydro should be off cooldown, I think. Or is it still on? No, he's actually off cooldown. Or on cooldown, so... I was like, by now it should be on cooldown. What I will do is cross torp with the sub and then he dies. Either the sub kills him now or I do. Sub smashes him into Narnia. That was a gamble, but I didn't want to kite out turbo far and be outside or be away from... Wait, the sub is the one spotting me. It's not the Öland. Öland ran away and there was a sub here. The sub is somewhere here, I think, on the surface. Must be. Well, time to run it into the middle. I mean, even if I get spotted there by Hydro, I mean, I eat a bunch of shit from the secondaries. I think they were full spec, but I probably still survive, so it's okay-ish. I mean, it was a risk. I was chancing it on his Hydro already being down because we're like pretty deep into the game and into his push, so he Probably popped it somewhere on 10 line when he was moving in. Yeah, and 2 minutes or so had to have at least passed since then. Gotta be careful though, because you can't really... you don't really know what they have spec'd for Hydro. Like, they could run Hydro Flag more than Captain Skill. I don't know, is there even a Captain Skill on the battleships anymore? I don't know. But like, they could run the module and the flag, and then the Hydro is super extended, then it's most likely out. But if he has nothing spec'd on it, it probably was on cooldown already, and the next one might have come up already. I mean, you never know. It's definitely just gambling there. Like, that is gambling addiction. Gameplay, what I did. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like a 50-50, honestly, and I took it. Their battleships, their BB monkeys are camping base. Our mines is randomly running at a submarine, which is quite awful. Because he doesn't have plane ASW, so that doesn't really make sense to me. Our Ochakov is nearly dead, so you can count that fuck out. The mines probably dies to the sub over time. Oh, wait. Wait. Is this guy not diving? We did a bunch of damage to him. Yeah, well, the mines will still not kill him. Rather the opposite. Wait, he has Hydro on now. The thing is, he has to be on top of that guy, so he gives Flap Broadside to the entire fleet now just to get on top of him, which is quite tragic. It doesn't really make sense to me, but hey, whatever. We're going to quickly help kill the Bismarck in the middle so I can sit in that cap, or engage the Akizuki on the right without having to sit in fucking secondary ranges for 10 years. My team is remarkably fast at killing themselves at the moment. Actually good that I got the other Bismarck out of the corner faster than expected, just so I can run it into the middle and support this shit. I don't know what the fuck's going on here, by the way. This guy's coming in. Maybe I'll just wait here a bit and shoot him. For now they're focused on battleships. So some permafires would help. Because at some point someone has to kill these BBs. Zakizuki's also randomly dodging the cap. It's weird. Yeah, they're definitely focused on other people than me, so I can just farm. I'll smoke now, because the Zuyus is coming in too. This guy will DCP, or no wait, he already DCP'd, right? No, he has it, okay. So we finish him off now. That is a very, very nice little one heal adventure from this guy. I appreciate it, sir, keeping the game alive for us, without us really interfering here. Okay, there you go. I won't be able to decap the zoo. I mean, this guy dies so fast, actually fucks the smoke timing for me now, really. It sucks a wee bit. Oh yeah, my team is definitely killing themselves. Thankfully, the sturdy kept A behind them, that's pretty good. Maybe my IO actually grows himself some balls and comes in. Because our Ruprecht is also dying. Our Dyson is going in too. And this shit might take a while to farm down if he has fire prevention and lots of DCPs left, which he probably has, by the way. He wasn't really engaged by anyone, maybe. Gonna take a while to kill him. We're using islands now to farm him out. Hopefully he stays spotted. Zeton could have run into my smoke and used it as a... Pretty nice with the arcs though, that you can... I mean, you can use the islands very well. Still, your damage only comes over time and through fires. Most of the time. Even have 1% fire chance on the captain. Can't really get the fire, sadly. Okay. We have to fuck with the Akizuki now. This is a fight to the death. To death. Whatever. He's smoking? When this man does weird movements. Yeah, it's okay, bro. I don't give a fuck, really. My Iowa missed his entire volley. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guy seems to be rather clueless too, though, as to who is actually his... Who is actually the threat for him. Because it's me, definitely not the fucking... Iowa. Maybe let's twerp it. Yeah, the sturdy capping probably wins the game here. Probably gotta kite out the Akizuki. My Iowa is actually like really fucking dented. Let's wait and give the Torp some time. Maybe I don't have to take the full fight and get myself nearly whacked by that guy. This guy's looking for me. Doesn't really matter. I think in a minute I have torpedoes up again. Should be fine. The Akizuki has not eaten a Torp, such. But I have my smoke and heal ready. Let's just try and figure out how... Oh. Fuck. How you go? Already healing. Already press smoke and heal before I kill him. If he had more HP, obviously can't immediately smoke, because as you saw, he went dark already. Fast. So... Okay, he torped some very weird spot there. Not lie. I'm going to abuse the islands against the Zuyus, so he can't rush me out. Because that's the thing with Kid, it's kind of the same as Cossack. It doesn't have a lot of torps, but still they kind of help you or give you the opportunity to sometimes rush something, or at least protect yourself against a rush. The difference though to Kid is, from Cossack, that your torps reload way longer, and yeah, obviously you can't snail them. We actually got a Halsey proc here. I mean, obviously... Oh yeah, that's a nice thing too. You can just play like Halsey and shit on those, or Cunningham on Cossack because it's premium ships. That's very nice. Even if you have like your Halsey on a Des Moines, I mean, since it's a premium ship, you can just slap some DD spec on it and... Oh. Well, I mean, that's awkward. He blew up. Hey. Well, game is over. Baija is a BB monkey camping in base, 125k. By the way, on these, like, Cossack and Terrible can actually get pretty high damage. I mean, Terrible obviously has the option of farming long range and reload boosting at the specific times. Also, afterwards, if you're like somehow still super full HP, you can rush people. Cossack in general just sets more fires and the torps are more usable. Like, Cossack is just better than Kid in randoms. But Kid kind of maxes out at 100k average. I mean, even 100k is already hard. Like, you're pretty fucking nuts if you get 95k average in that thing, because it only lives from its gun DPM. The torpedoes very rarely actually have high impact. As I said, like, the reload is super long. As you can see here, it's 1 minute 43 seconds. Cossack torps reload in like a minute, and they have 10 km range and are a bit faster. So yeah, definitely more usable. Kid torps, meanwhile, essentially just like, I mean, if you get tier 6-7 matchmaking, you can rush people pretty easily with it. That's pretty fun. Tier 6-7 matchmaking, you can quickly ruin a flank by, like, if there's tier 6-7 BBs, fuck it up. It's most about the BBs. if they fuck it up, you can just run at them and rush them out real quick, because you have 19,000 HP with heals. So getting, like, if you desperately need to come back into the game because your team already threw away, like, let's say we're minute 4, 3-4 ships of your team already dead, and then there's a tier 6, tier 7 BB available to rush on your flank, yeah, you should go for it. Even if you lose like 10k for it or a bit more, I mean, you have to eat one volley, but you can just heal back a bit of it, and you're actually like staying in the game for a bit longer maybe. You unlock a flank. That's kind of what I use the torps for the most. Otherwise, like, if you sit in a smoke and someone is rushing towards it, keep your torps as long as possible and just use them close up. Just make use of the insane survivability of it. Other than this, well, I mean, this kid, as you can see, it's a bit less shiny and glamorous in terms of impact than a Cossack or a Terrible. I mean, Terrible is also hard to find a actual like objective impact in, but Cossack for sure is like the best out of them. Still, I would advise people that try to play destroyers more to go for kills, like the perfect, let's say, training bed for people, players, new players, whatever. And because it's forgiving, like nice smoke, nice heal, nice conceal, a bit of def AA. Other than this, well, I mean, that's it for the tier 8 destroyers, I guess, and see you in the next video.